Alright guys, so today we're going to be testing some different fire extinguishers from Amazon, and 3 of them are supposed to explode whenever they put out the fire. So, I don't know about you, but anything that has explode and fire in the same sentence, count me in. So, first one is the AFO Auto Fire Off Fire Extinguisher Ball. Now, the theory, get it open here, what you're supposed to do is you have this ball is apparently like filled with something. If there's a fire, you're supposed to just throw this into the fire, and I guess it explodes, and whatever this powder is or whatever, it'll spread it out and put out the fire. So it comes with like a little mount so that you could like mount this in your house or something, and then I guess it could just sit on the wall, and then whenever there's a fire, you just grab the ball and throw it on the fire, and it's supposed to save the day. I'm very, very, very excited about this one. This is the one that has like the biggest claims. So we'll see how that goes. Next one we have is called the Jogo Swall. This one, also very interesting. This one is much smaller, and it has 3M tape on the back, and you are supposed to stick this inside the hood of a car, and in case the engine catches on fire, this thing theoretically would heat up and then spray out like, sounds like maybe a liquid or something? So it's going to heat up and spray something out, and that is supposed to extinguish the fire. I have very little faith, but we'll see. And then the next one, this is a throwing fire extinguisher. I don't know if these are supposed to explode like the ball is, or if these are just supposed to break on impact. But they're made to be like, at least on the Amazon pictures, they were made to where they look like they're supposed to be like decorations. Like you just, I guess, like set these things around like on a coffee table. It's like, feels slimy. Oh yeah. This thing is definitely leaking. You're supposed to throw these, and then they feel like plastic. So I guess these break or explode in some way, and whatever's liquid is in here puts out the fire. And then I guess in the meantime, whenever there's no fire, they just look like decorations. I don't know what kind of decorations these are, but we'll see how they work. I don't really know why I thought of this. I don't know why I decided to throw this on there, but we are also going to test out a fire blanket. Just to, I don't know, just another form to put out a fire, I guess. It was probably 4 in the morning whenever I ordered this stuff, and at 4 in the morning, a fire blanket sounded like a good thing to test, so that's what we're going to do. Alright guys, so before we go any farther, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped has sent me their Performance Package 4.0, so let's see what's inside. So, first and foremost, you get the Lawnmower 4.0. This is a completely wireless trimmer. It's waterproof. It has skin-safe technology. It also has a little light, so it has that skin-safe technology where you're not going to cut and nick yourself. That's very nice. It comes with a wireless charger that is also a stand, so you can just put it on your sink. It comes with 2 different guards so that you can trim at 2 different lengths. It also comes with a bottle of ball deodorant and a bottle of ball toner, 2 things that are very nice. And if we just look under here, you get a free toiletry bag. And then now the focus of this, so now the star of the show, you get a pair of these anti-chafing boxer briefs, which they just released new designs of these, and now instead of just the black, you can get up to 6 different pairs. And you can, if you just want these by themselves, you can buy just 1 pair, or you can go all the way up to a 3-pack, so you can just pick 3 you like, get them all at once. So that's very nice. So if you are interested in any of this stuff, or some of the other things that I think are essential, they also have a cologne that smells amazing, and they also have a nose and ear hair trimmer. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, you can click the link in the top of the description, and you can use code TUBE, and you will get 20% off, plus free shipping. Alright, so the first fire extinguisher that we're going to test is the Stay Safe 5-in-1. I don't even know if you can see that. But this one claims it puts out all types of different fires, but the one I'm interested in is it says that it puts out cooking oil or grease fires. So we have our pan here. We are gonna, it's full of vegetable oil, and we are going to light the stove on, and with any luck, we'll have a grease fire, and we can test if this thing can put it out. So let's just light this little stove right here. Come on. Of course, it's gonna be windy. Ah. There we go. Hopefully that wind doesn't affect us too bad. All right, let's turn this up. All right, hopefully with any luck, we'll have a grease fire. I did do a little test to see how long this will take, and I got a fire, I think in about 5 minutes or so is when it went from cold to on fire, which is kind of unsettling that cooking oil can catch on fire that fast. It should catch on fire somewhere around 700 degrees. We're at 300. Almost at 500, so we're getting there. Once it starts smoking a lot, then we'll know. All right, we should be getting real close. Yeah, we're about 650 degrees. Almost 700. All right, we've got to be just like seconds away. About 720 degrees. Come on, go ahead, catch on fire. This is probably the only time you'll see somebody encouraging a grease fire. Ah, there we go, okay. All right, so we got our grease fire. So, we'll turn that off. Now's the time you're supposed to freak out and not know what to do. And then you, I don't know, do something you're not supposed to and burn your house down. But we're not gonna panic because we have a fire extinguisher. Let's see, we got a raging grease fire and we're just gonna put it out. Excuse me? This is a fire extinguisher? I mean, it's out, but did you see the fireball that it created? That seems like that would be the last thing that you would want. I expected it to just like you just spray it and it just would go out. I didn't expect it to make it flare up a giant and then put it out. I feel like that was pretty dangerous. In conclusion, I don't think that I would recommend this to put out grease fires, because that seems like the worst case scenario. You have a grease fire that's not that big, that you could easily pour flour on or do something else with, and if you spray this on it, it just turns into a giant fireball. Now granted, it did put it out, but I feel like if you had a grease fire and you used this, it's gonna put it out, but you're also gonna have to put out like your cabinets and your wall and your floor and wherever else the fire goes. Now I wanted to try something, see if the propellant in here maybe is flammable. Maybe that's what was causing maybe that's what was causing the giant fireball. No? Maybe some scientist in the comments can figure that out. I don't know why it makes the fire worse before it puts it out, but that is quite terrifying. If you have a lot of grease fires, I would recommend something else. All right, we're moving on to the Jogo swall. This is the one that you were supposed to paste or stick underneath your hood in case your engine catches on fire. So my plan is I'm just gonna start a fire inside of here, and then I'll hold this over top of the chimney, and then we'll see if it sprays down and puts out the fire. So very simple. First, we just need some fire. All right, now let's see if it puts it out. That's a lot of heat and it hasn't gone off yet. I mean, it's turning black from the heat. How hot does this thing have to get? The flames are literally licking the top of it. So far, I do not think I would want this thing to stop my car from being on fire, because it doesn't seem like it's doing a very good job. I mean, is it just not hot enough? Maybe let's stick it right in the fire. Oh, oh. That was it? That didn't do anything. The fire is still there. Maybe let me try one at a different orientation. Maybe I'll go like straight in and see if maybe it'll put it out that way. All right, so I got this one in a different orientation. To me, that just had such a small amount of stuff in it. I just don't see how that could be effective for a fire, but we'll try again. As soon as it starts to go, I'm gonna kind of pull out a little bit and kind of let it spray more, I guess. All right, right in the fire. This is sad. Wow. Let me get this fire a little bit more. Raging hot, and we'll try again. All right, now let's get it going. Let's see if it'll put it out. Actually, just to make it interesting, let's put some lighter fluid on it. All right, it is on fire itself. Let's see. Oh, that thing like sparked towards me. Oh. I mean, it put the flames out. I'll give it that. I will give it that. It did do that. Now it's all smoky. Now that it's all smoky, I don't feel like it did enough. Like, yes, it did put the fire out. What it's made for, under the hood of a car, I do not feel like there's enough in there that if, say, you had like an oil or a gas fire, I do not feel like there's enough of whatever it is, powder or the fire putter outer stuff. I don't think there's enough of that stuff in there for it to actually be effective. Maybe for something like really small, especially if you got something under a hood of a car with like fuel behind it, oil, gas, an electrical fire from like a battery, anything with fuel behind it, I just don't think it's gonna be able to handle it. Maybe if you put, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 10 of them under there, possibly. Kind of a gimmick more than anything is what I feel. It could, and it does put out fires. All right guys, so we have now moved locations. Now we're gonna test out the AFO fireball because I feel like this one's gonna be much more violent. So we're gonna get another little fire started and we'll see if it works. All right, now remember, you never wanna start a fire with gasoline. All right, there we go. All right, now that we have a raging gas fire, so as you can see, I feel like that did a whole lot of nothing. It was more explosion than it was fire extinguisher, because there's only stuff like maybe like a 3-foot area and everything else was still flaming with no problem. Maybe that was like a fluke or something. I'm gonna try again and I'll try to get it like up here, because what I want to know is if there's already a fire, if you put the fireball in there and it explodes, I want to know if it's going to blow the wood around, because then I feel like that would be just counterproductive to a fire extinguisher. So let's get about $300 of gas on here. Nice. I'm gonna put it up here. Let's see if it'll blow the wood around. Literally nothing. It didn't slow the fire down at all, and all it does is make a ton of noise and do essentially nothing else. And I don't know how loud, or if you can tell how loud it is on camera, but it's literally like a gunshot, essentially. and the gas just is gonna burn itself out. These things suck bad. All right, so there's been some reconfigurations here. We figure that maybe it's not working because it's supposed to be elevated, because it explodes and then all the powder just falls onto the ground and it doesn't like spread the powder. So put it up here and hopefully it will, whenever it explodes, the powder will actually spread and it'll actually put out the fire. So in this one we have two. We have one that we're gonna keep in the box. So we're gonna attack the fire from two different angles and see if maybe between two of them it can put out the fire. And if that doesn't work, then these things just suck. I'm gonna try to run away with 20-pound boots. All right, that's one. Oh, come on. Just go. Now we're in a dangerous situation. Okay, so leaving that one in the box did less than nothing, which is what the other one did. The other one exploded right away and still did nothing, and the fire is still raging. So I don't know what these things are supposed to do, but they definitely don't do a good job of putting out fires. All right, so now we've got a little bit of a fire going on the wood, finally. So we're gonna try these ones. These are the ones that are supposed to be like a decoration, and they look like they're made of plastic. I don't know if they explode or like what their deal is, but we're gonna put it right on top of the fire and see if maybe these can put something out. Looks like nothing is happening. Yeah, it looks like nothing's happening. Looks like it's just burning. I think these fire extinguishers suck. I guess we'll let it go for a little bit longer. See if something happens. All right, this thing seems like it needs a little bit of help. Oh, it didn't work out. All right, let's try to just like, maybe you're supposed to just like throw it really hard, see what happens. Oh, that did something, just not in the right spot. All right. That still didn't really work. Let's get closer. Wow. These are so good. They work amazing. I don't even know what to say. These things are just, they're so good. They put out fires so well. All right, we're gonna try this again. We have cardboard and wood. So we have a mixed bag. I got 4 of the bulbs. I'm gonna throw all 4 if that's what it takes. And let's try it again. All right. All right, we have a raging fire, but we don't have to worry because I have fire extinguishers. Nothing. Well, I guess they're doing something a little bit. Okay, so they did help a tiny bit. What it seems like to me is that they're about as effective as about a cup of water. Just throw a cup of water on it and you get about the same effect because the fire is still raging, everything is still burning. I just don't really see the benefit. And the ones that explode, they explode and everything still catches on fire. The ones that explode, they don't have enough powder to really do anything. The powder doesn't spread as much as it should. Both of these things are just, they're horrible. They just don't put out fires that well. So now I'm gonna try something that I'm pretty sure will work. Is we're gonna try the fire blanket and we're gonna hopefully actually put out our active fire. All right, fire blanket. Come on, I'm gonna tuck you in so you can go to sleep. I'm gonna fall over. Come on, go out. Oh, look at that. Oh, well, there's still a little bit of fire right there. Come on. That was like 1,000 times more effective than any fire extinguisher. Oh, well, never mind. Go out. We'll just cover that up so you can't see it. The fire's out. So if you need to put a fire out, use a fire blanket. Don't use throwable fire extinguishers. All right, so these things did not work as planned. I had very, very high expectations, especially not so much for the other ones, the ones that look like ornaments or something. I didn't really have high expectations for those. These, I had a very high expectations for. I thought this thing would explode and put out the fire, no problem, and it would be great. Clearly that's not what happened. So, what I want to do is, I have one left. I want to cut this thing open and just see what's inside. Hopefully, it doesn't explode, because I don't really know how they work. I mean, I'm pretty sure there has to be heat involved for it to explode. Or maybe not, maybe it's gonna just explode right here. There's some type of, looks like a fuse or something. Yeah, some type of like fuse. Looks like it goes all the way around the ball. That would make sense. Okay. Is it just styrofoam? I wonder if we can just like cut this open. I really don't want this thing to like go off or something. Oh, okay. Easy. Interesting. So this is like some type of, so that's the powder. That's a lot more powder in there than what I thought would be in there. So this is like some type of charge that causes it to blow up somehow. And this is your powder. I'm going to assume that this is the same type of powder that is in just your standard fire extinguisher. I'm going to assume all throwable fire extinguishers. The idea of this is very interesting, and it sounds good in theory. You know, you have a fire, you throw this on there, it explodes, the powder goes everywhere, puts the fire out. That's a good theory, but in practice, I just don't think, probably really any throwable fire extinguishers, I don't think are really that great. And I don't think they're going to be that effective. Especially like, these ones, I mean, as you saw, did virtually nothing. The other throwable ones that I threw, I think 4 of them at one fire, at one small little fire. Imagine if you had like a house fire or something. Those things would, literally like a cup of water. Like I said whenever I was putting out the fire. All these throwable fire extinguishers, I think, roughly have the effectiveness of a cup of water. Aside from maybe like a grease fire, which the powder would be better for. Wherever you would keep one of these, I think if you kept a bottle of water there, I honestly think you'd be better off. And I think you could put out more of a fire with a bottle of water than you could any of these throwable fire extinguishers. They just don't seem to be very effective. So I think it would be better, instead of buying one of these, because these are expensive. These are like, I think $50 a piece. So if you were gonna have these in your house, you could buy like 15 cases of water for each one of these that you were gonna buy. If I was gonna have these spread out throughout my house, I would replace these with bottles of water in case you needed to put out a small fire or something. Even better than that, I would just get regular fire extinguishers. That way, if you have a fire, you can spray it at the base of the fire, you can control exactly where the powder is gonna go, and it's gonna work out way better than something like this that you're just gonna throw and just hope for the best. And even, they have these little brackets that you saw in the video that you're supposed to hang on the wall over top of like an area that is like, I guess, prone to catch on fire. And you saw we hung one of these right over top of the fire, and it exploded, and then nothing happened, and the fire just raged on, and it didn't hardly affect it at all. So if you're looking for something to put out a fire, just invest the money into a regular fire extinguisher. I think that'll work out way better. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.